Tonight, A-list fashion criminals. Rachel Hunter.
Wow.
I mean, it looks like she rolled out of bed, threw her hair in a ponytail, poked her legs through a satin pillowcase, and walked out the door.
America Ferreira.
Oh, Betty.
But it looks like a moth convention.
It does.
And Naomi Watts.
That looks like her cleavage threw up.
That's not a fashion risk, that's a fashion disaster. What?
Welcome to the show that flushes bad style away like bleach down a student toilet. The ability to dress well is a God-given talent. Those who have it are in the company of angels. Whilst those who don't,
Oh, my God.
may have sold their souls for Satan's wardrobe. But help is at hand, thanks to our unique high-concept service for the style-stricken celebrity.
This unsuspecting TV presenter is about to feel the power of our extraordinary virtual wardrobe. Using real garments gathered from designer collections in high street stores, we can redress and transform badly dressed celebs before your eyes. Thanks to our 360-degree computer jiggery-pokery, we can reveal the flattering features that could have saved the stars. It's celebrity paper dolls. And the best bit is I get to play it under the guidance of my international panel of fabulous fashion experts. They've been poring over bad celebrity clubber from red carpets around the world. From the UK's award-winning weekly glossy, style director of Grazia magazine, Paula Reed. LA fashion assassins Heather Cox. And Jessica Morgan from fashion blog site GoFugYourself.com. And celebrity stylist and catwalk commentator Michael Shable.
Ready, panel?
Yes. Absolutely.
Then let the style salvation begin. Tonight's style criminal is a young and fresh entrant to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Of course, no one wants another LA clone, but did she even open the style rules for New Stars Handbook? It's Ugly Betty star America Ferreira.
Oh, Betty.
Never tuck in a sweater.
Yeah.
Why would you want to do that? It was like knitwear.
I think this is one of those outfits where conceptually I rather like it, but it goes awry in small bits. I love the color of the top.
But it looks like a moth convention.
But it does. And I like the idea of the skirt, but I feel like it's a bit too long. It's not very flattering on her.
I hate to say it, my eyes go straight down to the shoes. I really think they thicken up her ankles. I think they were a souvenir from a Cankletown holiday.
Yeah.
What are cankles?
Cankles are when you have no real definition between your calf and your ankle. It's sort of like an unholy union between the two body parts. Never the twain shall meet except at Cankletown.
Okay, well, Michael, she's had no input whatsoever into the clothes that we've chosen for her. So what would you do to turn Ugly Betty into adorable America?
Well, I kind of thought, you know, the top half is obviously the most problem part of this entire thing. And so I decided to cover her up instead with a Lanvin gold brocade top, which has really kind of got a lot of sparkle, got a lot of pizzazz. I think it just suddenly adds a lot more interest to the outfit and makes her look a little bit more sophisticated.
I love that. I think it's fantastic. I think it's one of those tops that looks great with this, but you could also wear it with jeans. I went for something a bit more youthful, a little fun. I've put her in a cherry print dress by Jasmine Guinness for Ollie, which you can only get at ollie.co.uk. I do like the print. I think it's adorable. I think the V-neck is really flattering on her. But, you know, I think it's fun. The color's great.
Okay, so for her first big breakthrough role, she plays somebody who's dowdy and plain, and she's clearly not plain, but the clothes could do with a little bit of help. So I've gone for something that's way more sophisticated. It's a green, kind of 50s-inspired dress by Sticky Fingers. Now, see, the way that waist is dropped, and that kind of gives her a bit more length. You could carry a drop waist on a dress as well, and that is a classic 1950s trick. To have vertical seaming on a dress, it kind of curves in and then out, but the waist is actually dropped onto the hip, and it actually lengthens the body and, for some bizarre reason, makes your legs look slightly longer as well. And I love green, and it's not just because I'm Irish. I think that's fabulous.
But it helps. Very good. Well, Heather, you sat this one out. You've heard what everyone has to say. How would you advise me to choose?
I saw what both of you guys were going for. I liked it in concept, but I think in execution, I like Paula's the best. I think it's achieving the closest to what America herself was going for, and I think the color is fantastic.
Thank you very much for your wise words, and I'm going to take that on board. I'm going to lower my waist. So well done, I'm going with Paula's choice. OK, let's just take a look at the final transformation to see the difference.
Yay!
Totally different.
Well, at least in policy, she now looks like a starlet. Before, she looks like a grandma.
There you go, America. With our help, you can fight your own war of independence. They say in space, no one can hear you scream. Whoever said that obviously hadn't watched this show, because it's time for the Sin Bin, the final repository for all things awful in the world of fashion. Michael, you're on the throne tonight. What is it that makes you wretch?
Oh, if there is one thing in God's green earth which really, truly makes me want to vom, it is wedge espadrilles with the little lace ribbony ties that go around the ankle and drape. I always see worn on a woman of a certain age with one of those kind of mid-calf, drapey, peasanty skirts and statement eyewear. It just is disgusting.
Just to remind you of what they look like, here's Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Oh,
But the rest of that outfit is ridiculous.
yeah, but the shoes are the most
awful,
ridiculous
too.
part.
No.
Okay, and here's the male version on Sir Bob Geldof.
Well, that's terrible.
Those are awful. I
love
really
those.
hate the flat ones.
Yeah, the flat
And
ones are
guys
terrible.
can't wear them.
No, so he just looks like he should be shuffling along the path to the old age home.
Even if he was trying them, he should have the back down flat.
I'd rather like the wedge espadrille on
It's
a
'cause
woman.
you're crazy.
But you're going to insult me before I'm going to agree with you for a second?
Where is this
I was
going?
going to say but I do agree that the wedge bit of it gets filthy dirty and you can't clean it at all. So you really only can wear them very briefly before they start looking completely trashed.
Yeah.
Well, they don't always have to come with a heel, and they don't always have to come in a plain fabric. Here's our house model Morgan to prove it.
Like, can I rest my case? I'm sorry.
No,
Like,
those are awful.
Yeah,
I
those
only
are
like
awful.
the
Those are
wedge.
terrible.
all awful. Like,
There is a make called Castagnier. They make them in the south of France. They
Hold
look
on, are you defending the
absolutely amazing.
espadrille?
I totally am. They are a southern French classic.
We're going to have a tie here.
They are very Brigitte Bardot.
you
You
do?
put them on with your capris and your little gingham top, and you're good to go.
I rather like the idea of being able to wear sort of a heeled shoe at a beachy place
Yeah.
where you don't look ridiculous. You see women on the beach sometimes in high heels and you think, you are out of your mind. What's wrong with you?
Exactly.
But to be able to have a little height at the beach, I think is a valuable thing.
Okay, well, I've heard both sides of the story, and you know what? For me, canvas was not created for footwear. Espadrilles are banished. Time now for I Can Dress Myself, the section of the show where we stare open-mouthed at a celebrity's off-duty fashion choices. American Idol judge Paula Abdul has taken a lot of criticism in her time. She wore these as in-flight casual wear. That picture was taken at LA Airport.
That's asking for deep vein thrombosis, isn't it?
I look at this and I'm just like, who are you kidding? You're not 14. And it looks to me like her stylist was trying to be like, no, honey, it's young, it's hip, it's fresh. You go, you fly in that thing.
no, I don't think a stylist had a
Terrible
hand
advice.
in that.
Okay, well, Heather, it's your turn in the control tower tonight. Tread very carefully with poor Paula.
I went with a line that is certainly no stranger to dressing pop stars or former pop stars. Moschino, who did all of Kylie's stuff for her 2005 tour. She obviously was really into looking young, so I went with something that was a little more youthful with her. I love all the extra details in there. It looks like a simple dress from afar, and then up close you sort of see how much has gone into it. And what I liked about it was that it looked like it would be very comfortable for a flight, actually. You could fly in that. It wouldn't be any the worse for wear from having sat all day, and I think it's an obvious improvement.
I also am putting her in a dress. It's a red and white Ted Baker from a few seasons ago. I mean, look how cute it is, first of all. It's very comfortable, really, to fly in a dress. You don't have the waistband digging in. You can put a sweater on and you won't get cold. And for someone like Paula Abdul, who could potentially be greeted by photographers when she gets off the plane, she's gonna look very smart.
I also went for a dress, and it's one by Pink Tartan. And it's a wrap dress, which, again, is just such a no-brainer for comfort and practicality. And I think if somebody spills something on you, which seems to happen to me every time I fly on a plane, you're not going to see it. A kind of all-over pattern is very forgiving in terms of figure, practicality, comfort, ticks all the boxes.
Michael, you've heard what the girls have to say. How would you advise me to choose from these three outfits?
I do like Paula's wrap dress, but it's a bit of kind of a style cliche. And let's face it, she's not flying economy. She's fully first class. Heather's I really liked as well, but I think those ruffles probably would get a little rumpled in the process and all that sort of stuff.
Not unless you have a kettle.
Yes, exactly. So I'm really going for Jess's. I think it was really smart. I think the color looked good. I think it would wear well on a long flight, and it would probably be the easiest thing to just shake out and make look presentable when she's rushing through the airport trying to avoid the paparazzi when she's really not trying to avoid the paparazzi.
What are you implying?
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Michael. Wise words. So wise, in fact, that I agree with you, and I've taken your advice and gone with Jessica's outfit.
Hurrah.
Let's take a look at the before and after.
Oh, so much better.
Yeah.
God, I'm good.
That colour really works.
She really should call you.
I know.
Paula, we're only trying to help. At least it's constructive criticism. Let's face it, Simon Cowell would have had you in tears by now. With all the fashion disasters we see on this show, it's just fab to be able to sit back and bask in the glow of someone who's got it right. Often after far too long of getting it very badly wrong. In Hasn't She Done Well, we look at a celebrity's journey from fashion nasty to glamour goddess. But first, the panel has to work out who done it. Clue 1, the I woke up this morning and it was 1977 look. Clue 2, the we've seen the trick, now where's the treat look. Clue 3, the my garden just threw up on me look.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, 3 looks there.
I have a guess on that one for sure.
Somebody
Yes,
knows.
I recognize who
I know.
that is. Yeah.
I know those tattoos.
Yeah, that was
Markings,
my
yeah,
thing, too.
exactly.
That was the giveaway.
I got it on the
Okay,
hair.
you seem to all have a pretty good idea who it is. 1, 2, 3.
Kelly
Osbourne.
Like a choir. Let's see if you are right or wrong. Absolutely right.
Tragically right.
It's the foot tats.
I know.
Gave it
Gave it away.
Yeah.
And here she is looking fabulous at the British Fashion Awards.
Oh, I love this dress on her.
Yeah.
And I like that new haircut,
I
actually.
know.
And her makeup is so much less
Look at her.
aggressive.
Great.
She's really enjoying clothes now, and you can see it. It's maturity. She loves her wardrobe now, and I think the more adventurous and the more luxurious she gets with it, the more she just seems to blossom in it.
And I do think she took a bit of a savaging from the press over the years,
Oh,
sort of thing.
absolutely.
For a lot of her kooky outfits. I mean, for some small part of, you know, teen civilization, she was a real punk icon, but for everyone else, she was a bit of a laughing stock.
I think it's also a confidence issue. I mean, I feel like all of that stuff was all about hiding, all the wigs and the layers and the crazy fabrics and it was just so overdone, and it really did seem like she was trying to hide herself in all the layers so that you wouldn't see through. And here, she just looks completely comfortable in her own skin, completely comfortable in her body. And I think that's a huge part of why she's been able to pull it off and pull that dress off. She looks beautiful.
And do you think that this look now is just going to evolve and evolve? It's going to keep going?
I do.
Heather?
Absolutely do.
Paula?
Yes, for sure.
Michael?
Hopefully in a positive way.
Gunning for that. Kelly, you're now free to enjoy a fabulous fashion future. Parole granted. Time now for problem parts. Proof, if ever was needed, that a wise wardrobe is an altogether more sensible alternative to plastic surgery. Statuesque model Rachel Hunter has a figure women the world over envy. At a recent polo event, fashionistas had to wonder why she chose to pop it into a number like this.
Oh, wow.
Now, guys, am I right in saying that Rachel's potential problem could be her hips?
That dress gives her the illusion of every problem and part in the book.
It widens her waist, it makes her hips look like they're twice the size they are. And it shortens her body as well, actually, funnily enough.
I mean, it looks like she rolled out of bed, threw her hair in a ponytail, poked her legs through the satin pillowcase, and walked out the door. I think I'd put her in a Ted Baker dress. It's a UK brand. It's a black dress, which is automatically going to streamline you. It gives her a really attractive waist, I think. And she's at an outdoor event. It's, you know, August in New York this particular day. You would think black would be hot, but I actually think it's going to be fine because it's open at the sleeves, so it adds a little bit of breeze there. And, I mean, honestly, if she gets a little sweaty, who's going to see it?
I may have a little fashion ADD this series, but I'm going to put her in a wrap dress. Diane von Furstenberg, what can I say? I quite like the way it defines her waist in a kind of broad, I want to say cinch, but it's not a cinch. It's more like a hug.
A hug.
That pattern is quite dynamic on her as well. It looks beautiful with her blonde hair. Anybody with a problem, an all-over pattern is a great way to add some camouflage to your wardrobe. It's very flattering for anybody.
I must have got blinded by the light of Rachel's gorgeousness because I went overboard in this really beautiful red Wayne Clark column dress. Now, I know a dress might be a little OTT for this event, But the way of drawing attention away from the problem part is actually by creating a bit of more interest around the neck or in other parts of the body, like on the shoulders. It kind of makes sure that all the interest is above the problem part as opposed to at the problem part.
It's lovely. I think it's a beautiful color.
It's really pretty. And he's right, it does draw your eye right up here, which is where the money is.
Jessica, you've sat this one out. Which of the three would you advise me to choose?
While I really loved Heather's, I'm really drawn to the pattern in the Diane von Furstenberg. I love a good DVF dress. I would advise you to go with Paula's choice.
Okay, well, thank you very much. However, the final decision is mine, and I might have gone overboard myself, but I'm going with Michael's.
Right.
Okay, let's see if we manage to cure this hippie chick.
So much better.
If I could just get a comb through her hair, I'd finally be happy.
Well done, Michael, and well done, Rachel. If only my panel of fashion ferrets here could be bottled and sold to style-stricken celebrities, then we wouldn't be faced with some of the criminal clothing cocktails we see on the red carpets of the world. But until then, we're here to serve. And in Fantasy Stylist, my fashionistas get to uncork their expertise to help a top celebrity with a hot invite to a glamorous event. So let's see who needs your help tonight. Actress Naomi Watts will be attending the Vanity Fair party held on Oscar night. As I want to keep the dress she really wore a secret, we'll be transforming her outfit on another piece of footage. So, Michael, what can you offer Naomi?
Well, the great thing about the Oscars after parties is that aside from all the free champagne, you actually get to get out of that big gown you wore. It was just been sucking you in and just causing you a lot of trauma. So you can get to go for something a little lighter, a little flirty, a little sexier and all this. So I decided to give Naomi some extra wattage in this beautiful Lita Bidet satin gown. It's really smart, it's knee length, it's got a nice shine to it without being too fussy. It's very simple. It's a really great figure-hugging showstopper for her.
Well, I think she's taken some fabulous fashion risks, and I've loved watching her on the red carpet. She really is not your standard celebrity, and so I've gone for a vintage dress. It's reminiscent of a kind of 1940s, 1950s old-style French couture. It's got that slightly bubble skirt and a lovely fitted bodice, and that really flattering square neckline, which just kind of lifts her whole upper body.
I'm putting her in something that's a bit more relaxed. It's a spring-summer 08 Anne Klein dress. It's a brown, sort of drapey, Grecian jersey dress. It's going to be particularly comfortable. Brown is often more flattering than like a stark black can be. And I'd like it on her. I think with some big earrings, it could be really great.
And they're not called goddess dresses for nothing.
Exactly.
Oh, it's a goddess dress.
It is a goddess dress.
Heather, you sat this one out. How would you advise me to choose?
I love the brown dress so much. It pains me not to advise you to pick it because it's pretty, but I just really fell in love with what Paula put on her. I just thought it was so pretty that the line on the skirt was just wonderful, and it made her waist look as tiny as I'm sure it is. So my advice would be to go with Paula.
Okay, thank you. But how am I supposed to be able to ignore an address from the goddesses?
Yeah.
My choice this evening is Jessica's dress. Now, what I want to know is, what did Naomi actually wear to the party?
That looks like her cleavage through.
That's not a fashion risk, that's a fashion disaster.
Yeah, it's just childish. It's like some kid was like, I really like fish.
Dressing up
and I
like
really
a-
like ruffles. I'm gonna staple some ruffles onto my wallpaper and call it a day. You also completely lose her body in that dress. There's so many bits and pieces. It's like, where's the figure in there at all?
Well, I was just thinking, was this the Oscars where she was pregnant? No, it's not. But the fact that I thought this could conceivably be concealing a bump is a very bad sign.
Okay, well, clearly you love the look, but let's look at the two together.
Yay!
Jessica's reigns supreme. Naomi, take our advice, and there won't be a giant ape in the world who can resist you. It's almost the end of the show, and I'll be giving a special award to one of our fashionistas. But now, there's just enough time to peek behind the doors of the Hall of Shame at a classic fashion disaster from yesteryear. Panel, as usual, you'll be given 3 clues, and all you have to do is try and work out just who has committed the crime. So here you go, clue 1. Our main offender's middle name is Hercules. Clue 2. This night's tale needed a better costume designer. You're looking pretty stumped. Morgan's here with a clue for you. A wig.
David Hasselhoff? Knights? Maybe.
Oh, I see what you're trying to do
Knight
there.
Rider, maybe it could have been. He has bad hair.
Oh, David Hercules Hasselhoff, you can.
Yeah, exactly.
The answer is Elton John.
Of course.
Here he is, Sir Elton John and his partner, David Furnish. And this is what they wore to Elton's birthday party.
You look furnished.
And here's a perfect example that breaks the myth that all gay men have taste.
So, tonight, the winner of my award for personal services to style is Michael.
Oh, hello.
That's for your passion for fashion and your services to espadrilles for giving them a good kicking.
If there is one thing in God's green earth which really, truly makes me want to vom, it is wedge espadrilles with the little lace ribbony ties that go around the ankle and drape. They're just vile.
And the prize is Elton's wig. There you go, be careful.
Here we go.
It's had one very careful owner,
Oh,
but is not
fab.
insured for high winds. Okay, well, sadly that's all we do have time for. Please join me to right more sartorial wrongs next time on Naked Fashion.